So just like clockwork during a weekday, we got another teaser for DLC 4, or as we know it now, Tag Der Toten. And if you guys are unsure what we actually got the name Tag Der Toten for, it's actually because PlayStation went and just gave us all of the trophies for the map, and of course alongside that was the name of the map. So if you guys did miss that and you actually want to hear all the trophies for Tag Der Toten, I already made a video on that last week. It's my most recent video after this one, so you could just click on my channel, find it there, or it'll be on a card on the screen right now and hopefully down in the description. But regardless, let's actually talk about the two teasers we got today. And like I said, there's two teasers. One of them was a Twitter profile change from Treyarch, and the other one was just a normal tweet. Now, as much as I want to jump into the normal tweet right away because it is a little bit more exciting, I think it's actually important to first talk about the Twitter profile change for Treyarch because it is something that kind of leads into the next one. But regardless, let's quickly look at this, and I'll put it on screen right now. And this is the Twitter profile change, and what you see here is obviously a logo, but what is it for? If you actually look at the bottom and read what it says, you would know that that right there says a Russian word, which if we use our mastermind skills, we could actually go and decipher this to actually say Ascension. So what this looks like is actually a logo for the Ascension group, which is actually interesting because this is the only major group in the zombie storyline that didn't have a logo. I mean, we had one for Broken Arrow, we had one for, of course, Division 9, and obviously we had one for Group 935. That's been there since the existence of zombies. So it seems like Treyarch is in the business of giving logos to any and every group that they possibly can. Not sure exactly why, but that's what they're doing. And you would think that all of these secretive groups like Group 935 and Broken Arrow and even the Ascension group, you would think at least, if you use your brain just for 1 second, you would think that these secretive groups wouldn't want their logo plastered around everything, but that's of course not their way of doing things, and it seems like they're just going to do what all of the other groups have done and just put their logo absolutely anywhere they possibly can. So that's going to be what that is. But regardless, that's all I could really say about this logo right here, because it is just the Ascension Group's logo that we haven't got until now, till the final map of the Ether storyline. But regardless, we're going to jump over to the next teaser, and let's just look at the entire tweet as a whole, because the caption of this tweet says, "When you can't take the heat, it's time to improvise. Hashtag Black Ops 4, hashtag zombies." And this is where we actually see the Thunder Gun. As you guys can see, some blueprints for the Thunder Gun. So it looks like the Thunder Gun is going to be returning. But real quick before we get into that, I want to look at the bottom right of this, and this is actually the reason why we had to look at the Twitter profile image first, is because then it was spoiled it here when we looked at here. But regardless, we do see the Ascension Group's logo, which makes sense because they also worked on the Thunder Gun, even though Maxis is kind of the one who built it. But then again, the Ascension Group were like kind of the ones who finished it, I guess you could say. So it kind of makes sense why they would have the blueprint for it. And also, if you look under the Ascension Group's logo, you can actually see a date, and what that date is of course July 23rd, 1963. And this is probably giving us a hint at when this map is going to be taking place. Not that it really matters when we have multiple universes and time travel and stuff like that, but at least it gives us something. So, you know, I guess that's kind of cool. But returning back to the bigger picture of this blueprint is that you really have to think about that they wouldn't probably just give us the Thunder Gun blueprints if it wasn't for a reason. And the last time they gave us blueprints of something, it was the Ray Gun Mark II for Alpha Omega, and it was because there were going to be elemental upgrades to the Ray Gun Mark II. So it leads you to believe that something similar may be happening here. And of course, this time around, they actually kind of smeared off a lot of things on this blueprint, so we can't really get too much from this. But at the same time, it does seem like, just judging from what we got in Alpha Omega's teaser, that we may be seeing an upgraded Thunder Gun. Now, the problem with that is that the Thunder Gun is the best wonder weapon of all time, or at least tied with the best wonder weapon of all time, because it's just so powerful. Like, I honestly can't think of how you could possibly upgrade the Thunder Gun further after, you know, its standard form, or further after being Pack-a-Punch. In fact, Pack-a-Punch doesn't do anything except give it more ammo, so, you know, it's just wondering, like, what more can you do to the Thunder Gun? It's the best wonder weapon of all time, so if this is an upgrade for it, I mean, how are you going to upgrade it anymore? I mean, give it a lingering effect? I don't know. So this is going to be something to keep an eye out for an upgraded Thunder Gun. But like I said, I can't can't imagine how they can make the Thunder Gun any better than it already was. So that's going to be interesting to look out for. But regardless, that's all I can really say about this upgraded Thunder Gun looking thing. But we're going to have to see how this works out. I hope that they don't do something dumb like actually kind of nerfing the Thunder Gun for in order they can upgrade it. You know, I'm kind of worried that's going to happen. So well, again, like I said, we're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out. So that's all I could really say about these two teasers and the relation to Tag Der Toten. But one thing I want to quickly say at the end of this is going back to the Ascension Group, because it seems like they're giving us the Ascension Group's logo and they're kind of giving us a date of 1963, which of course at this time this is when the Ascension Group should be at their highest, which is great and all. But what I find very interesting about this is in multiple teasers before this we saw the Group 935 logo, which makes little sense that's why we would be able to see the Ascension Group's logo now, because you would think that we were going to a Group 935 facility, but now we're seeing some Ascension Group stuff. So are we going to be seeing both the Ascension Group's facility and the Group 935 facility? Or maybe what happened is that the Ascension Group are reusing the Group 935 facility. It is something to take note of, because it's not often that we see the logos of two different groups in the exact same map. I mean, when we saw Division 9, we only saw Division 9. When we saw Group 935, we only saw Group 935. And then, of course, when we saw Broken Arrow, we only saw Broken Arrow. So it's interesting to see that we are seeing both Group 935's logo all over the place and also the Ascension Group's logo all over the place too. So that's also something to keep an eye out for. But regardless, that's all I have to say. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions about everything we saw today, whether it be about the Thunder Gun and maybe its upgrade, and also the Ascension Group and what sort of role they're going to be playing in Tag Der Toten. And I'd love to hear all those thoughts and opinions down in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy the video and you are excited for DLC 4, or I guess I could just call it Tag Der Toten now, then definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff, because you know I'm going to be covering all of it, especially at launch. So be excited for that and definitely subscribe for that. But that's all right for me, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever it may be. But laters, guys.